Recording started.
We are live and
Alive.
super
Still.
high five.
Nice.
So, hello guys, welcome back again to our beautiful podcast that already started the second season, and welcome to the fourth episode uh, where we are going to talk about the full moon. Not full moon, actually, all moon cycles and the spiritual power of those moon cycles. So, I'm really glad today to share about this topic and to hear more from Tilly what is her experience in regards to it. And before we continue, let us once more introduce ourselves. So, hey, I'm a modern mystic and a spiritual life coach. I enjoy speaking about all the mystical topics, and today is one of such. Tilly, jump in.
Hello. I'm Tilly, and I love to sing about spiritual stuff, and I love to talk about, yeah, but also mystic and spiritual stuff endlessly. So I'm happy to have these conversations with Lily.
And the universe.
And yeah, true. And all
By
of
the
you.
way, yeah, guys, all of you who is watching, you everybody are our universe. So welcome and let's begin then. When it comes to the moon cycles, and actually the intention of this video is to bring more awareness to you if you still didn't notice that full moon that moon cycles like a full moon and a new moon really impacts us on at least three levels. Uh, on a it affects our mental body, our emotional body, and our physical body. Most often, people know that moon cycles affect physical body and then a bit of emotional, but also it affects a mental body. And actually, by the way, yesterday I had a call with my mom, and I mentioned that okay, during full one person in our extended family circle passed away in natural way and exactly on a full moon. And when I told her, she was like, okay, what does it have to do with information that somebody passed away? And I was like, don't you know that the hospitals are full with patients when the full moon comes? By the way, Tilly, did you know?
I didn't know, but today at work I heard that two colleagues from another company passed no, in the same company but another division passed away also in the weekend. So now that you share this, it's like, wow, okay, I never knew that hospitals are more full with full moon. That's interesting.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like, by the way, guys, just a few days ago, not a few days, on 24th of February, we had a full moon, and yeah, Tilly, that's how what I noticed already quite a while ago. And if you pay attention or ask any doctor that you know, they would say the same, especially those who work in first emergency.
Wow.
Full corridors of people. Why? Because the full moon affects the mind, emotions, and then people get triggered much easier. They get more emotional, and then they don't regulate their nervous system, and all kind of accidents happen, whether it's intentional accidents or just unintentional because of lack of groundedness. So yeah, I'm curious, guys. Everybody who's listening, did you know this fact that during full moon the hospitals are full? Please feel free to comment. We would love to hear about that. So also in this video, we are going, by the way, I forgot to mention before that we are going to discuss a few topics in regard, subtopics in regards to the spiritual power of moon cycles. So first, just the fact that humans are connected to those cycles, and I just described how. Then what is our most unique experience ever that we had, that we noticed during those moon cycles, and what is the pattern? Then what is the topic of this full moon that we just had? Uh, Also, the meaning, what is the meaning of a new moon and a full moon? How ancient traditions used to perceive and understand, how our ancestors used to interpret these cycles. And the last, what are, or what could be the full moon and new moon rituals that we can use to really benefit spiritually from. So, as we already covered that moon cycles really affect us, whether we are aware of that or no, that's a different story. But I invite you guys to become more aware. If you're not still, become aware when you become more emotional, when you become more triggered, when you become maybe more ungrounded, and check to the moon. Is it possible that it's a full one? Or when it's a new moon, check with yourself, huh, what new starts in my life? And Tilly, can you recognize now, or let's go to the subtopic of what is the meaning of new moon and full moon? So I would like to ask you, what does it mean for you personally?
For me, the full moon feels always like a small transformation, as if I'm letting go of a lot of old stuff. And maybe this is for later to share, but what a symptom you can say that I experience with full moon is always that a lot of old memories bubble up as if a door opens in my subconscious, and I just get all day long like these random memories popping up, sometimes related to a certain theme. And then it really feels like, oh, I'm cleansing out the old. And yeah, for me it helps to focus on that, reflect on that, and put new intentions for a new month. The new moon, I have to be honest, I feel always a bit off and not so good with full moon. So therefore I dislike it a little bit. I can, yeah, feel physically a bit sick, or at least very tired, and also a bit down sometimes. So what some people have with new moon, fresh start, for me for some reason it feels always a bit unpleasant, and I like the full moon experience better. Very high energy, and yeah, a bit of restlessness in a good way, I would say. So I would say full moon, transformation, new moon, I don't know. For me personally, yeah, it's hard to tell. So
It
yeah.
sounds like it's resting for you during new moon.
Yeah, maybe that's a nice way to phrase it. Yeah, I like that perspective. Yeah.
Looks like you're preparing your body for something new.
Hmm. I didn't even think of that. That actually the feeling down or physically tired is not per se bad, but actually preparing. Yeah, nice. That's a positive way of looking at it.
So you will not
Okay.
hate new moons now.
No, exactly.
It's like come here. It's my time to rest now.
Yeah, nice. That's a way better perspective. Thank you.
Okay,
And do you have
beautiful.
the similar experience or totally opposite?
For me, actually depends. When it comes to a full moon, for me also it's always the end of something. And what I heard from you, for you, it's more the ending in the mind. Is it correct or?
Yeah, I think that's very correct. Well said. It's always
But
about habits, but more in mind habits of thoughts about myself. Or yeah.
can you recognize physical manifestation of mental ending?
Um. Well, I do get a lot of restless energy always, also physically with full moon. So I start maybe to clean my house, or I can do a lot of tasks all day long, and that's this restless energy that feels very good. Also, so in that sense, there's also a physical manifestation. Yeah, but it's less
Uh-huh.
important for me. I feel I'm more focused on, oh, this transformation is from the inside, but my body goes around for sure cleaning in my room and house. Yeah.
Yeah, good that you mentioned this because for me, also the way I became aware, I started becoming aware of moon cycles was when I started paying attention, like, why am I so obsessed about cleaning? And when I
Yeah.
start cleaning, I just can't stop. I need to do it
Yes, yes,
from top to bottom, right?
yes. Uh-huh. Nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But I noticed that during I believe me or not, but I clean my apartment and during new moon and during full moon. Just during new moon, it's simple cleaning, like basic. While during full moon, oh gosh, like
Whole
you
makeover.
don't want yeah, you don't want to see me because I spend all day, maybe sometimes 2 days, just for cleaning. So
Nice.
yeah, that's my physical manifestation. And for me, a full moon is also representing some sort of completion and ending. But also, I am aware because I'm observing how it manifests physically as well. And for me, it also some sort of ending in the mind, what causes the ending in the heart, and then it goes into the physical. For example, uh, for example, when I was changing apartment, I was moving out on a full moon. Or no. I was, for example, I got a message that I need to move out on a full moon.
Okay.
I
Cool.
moved out on a new moon. So ending a new beginning.
Yeah. Nice.
So
That's a
that's
beautiful
how, for
connection.
example, that's how it might manifest in practical matters or yeah, with relationships, very common. Like some issues
Mm.
arises in the relational dynamics, and then I realized that I am more into solving relational problems during full moons,
Mm.
while the resolution of that uh, solution comes during new moon when energy settle down.
Mm.
So yeah, and new moon. So yeah, full moon is the end of something that manifests mentally, emotionally, and physically, while new moon is represents something new, the start, the fresh beginning.
And do you feel physically then also very good, like mentally happy, for example, with new moon, or not per se?
Huh. Usually yes. Usually yes. And when people say that they can't sleep during a full moon, by the way, can you sleep during a full moon?
I just wanted to also discuss, like, indeed some symptoms besides the transformational part. No, I have often nights that I couldn't sleep all night, and sometimes I wake up a few times, and then I feel like really the moon energy is beaming on me through the window or something. So it depends. Last full moon I slept great, but normally I'm wide awake. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I sleep like a baby.
Always. Okay, chill.
Uh, I probably because I have anemia, so
Mm,
neither moon, neither third world war. I hope it's not going to
Okay.
happen, but would
You will sleep
never
through
wake
it.
me up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that sounds also relaxed. Mm.
yeah. Um, but also, I noticed. Do you notice how people behave around you?
Um, I think everyone is a little bit more easily, uh, yeah, even emotional for sure. Can be arguing, but also for myself personally, I have to say I find it a bit hard to tell for others. But personally, I sometimes had days that I suddenly cried out of nowhere and then had a lot of laughter. But it felt a bit weird, like this intense switch. And then later looked out the window, or then I noticed, oh wow, it's full moon. So for me, it always feels like emotions are a bit more random and intense and fluctuating and fast switching. That's how I experience it. But I
Yeah,
know from other people they have more that they are easily more angry, for example. Uh, yeah, for me it's more sadness. I
yeah.
think it's.
It
I just realized also the full moon, like with wolves, that they howl with the moon. Yeah, was just interesting. It affects also animals, I guess. But let's stay
it,
now
it
here.
I mean,
Mm,
it does affect, and
mm.
actually, it's important to mention why the full moon affects the organism, whether it's humans or animals. And actually, it affects, I would say, the whole nature
Oh yeah, the
because
sea.
it makes sense, yeah?
Yeah.
Because science already proved that the moon affects the water. And hello, how many percentages of water our body consists
Yeah,
of?
good. That I don't know, but a lot. 70%,
Yeah, something
80.
like that.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I just realized now that it also affects the sea, like the whole tide. So I was just, I thought I just had like an insight. Whoa, it affects animals, but it affects a lot. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
everything that is alive is made out of some quantity of water.
Mm.
So it's natural that it affects everything that consists of water, just the
Yeah.
degree difference. So, I'm wondering, drinking water during full moon, is
Nice.
it a good idea or not?
Probably yes. Maybe if you put some extra intentions in it. Cool. Also, I'm curious before we might continue to another topic. What are your physical experience like staying awake, feeling restless or emotional with full moon? Do you have clear effects?
So I started with that I have urge to clean. Also, it affects me emotionally and mentally as well, but it's all connected, mental and emotional. Because as for you, for me, some triggers happen that initiates a process of emotional for emotions to arise. So then I take my sweet time to isolate from people and to be in silence and stillness and to really look at those triggers. Why am I feeling the way am I feeling? What exactly hurts me or whatever emotion comes up? And it's for me a beautiful opportunity to work with my inner child. So that's how it affects me. Yeah.
Sounds beautiful. So more you take more the time to really detach yourself and reflect, but not so much random emotions of sadness or
It
like a more roller coaster, I would say, than normally.
It it happens, and it
Mm.
happened during this full moon that we had. I I was at job, and I was like, first I started laughing because I got such a huge epiphany moment. Everything started making sense for me. I got that shoot of dopamine in my brain, and then
Yeah.
watching those pots. Then I started crying.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
And I was hiding my emotional house from my
Mm,
colleagues because I was like, what is happening with me? I just was enjoying having fun. I was receiving so many insights, and now it makes me feel miserable, sad. I'm like,
mm.
what is it? I need to go home to be with myself and don't disturb me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that does sound like fluctuating emotions, yes. Mm,
Yeah, and sometimes I would say that it's important, very important to recognize when we have weak energetic boundaries, because when emotion hits out of nowhere, and if it's not something that unconsciously belongs to you, you just might be picking up on or somebody who is close to you, or even collective
mm,
energy that is more dominant. It doesn't mean that you have the same personal topic as the whole collective, but you can feel what collective is going through. For
yeah.
example, I during one full moon that everybody were speaking, oh, how bad, how difficult it is, how everybody felt bad. And I was like, should I stay silent just to not to get hit by those haters who go through rough time? Because for me, it was so positive full moon.
Mm,
Everything was happening for the positive, and I'm like, okay, so I feel the common topic, common energy, what the collective is going through, but looks like this time I'm in the minority of the collective. Let's say like that.
mhm.
So
But how would you explain it or clarify? Or you don't have an
what do you
explanation
mean?
for the difference in your positive experience and their negative experience?
But what exactly? I'm not sure if I understand.
No, I thought you were giving a reason why you felt super positive and in regards to the whole world, the collective. Or it was just sharing the perspective of you had a good experience and some people experienced that full moon more negative. It's all personal eventually, of course. Or at least I would say everyone experiences differently. Um but I thought you were going to clarify something, but never mind.
No, no, it's
Did you?
everything clear because
Yeah.
I was just having a very good experience while listening the stories of other people that were really sad.
Yeah,
So
okay,
I
okay. Mm.
I was able to feel what others were going through, but it didn't affect me because I was in my high vibe.
That sounds good.
That's
Yeah.
why I would say that it's very important also to take that time for oneself and to do some rituals that we will speak at the end of the video. The
Mm.
rituals that might help to put energetic boundary so the energies of others don't intervene with your own personal process. So then you can recognize what belongs to who.
Yeah.
Now, Tila, okay, let's go there. I'm so curious to hear what is your most unique experience of, I don't know, full moon? No, 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 no. Let's start from the most common.
Okay. Well, the most common is that I would lay wide awake. And I think when I was younger, I remember um, as a kid sometimes being all night awake and I couldn't sleep. And I remember trying to clarify it for myself. And I even had thoughts as, oh, maybe in my past life, something happened as at this date, That's why now I cannot sleep in this life. It was the most crazy connections I tried to make until I realized the pattern of looking when I looked at the window. I was like, it's full moon again. So it was already when I was 14, 15 that I realized there was a connection. yeah, so that it started like that, I would say, with being awake and feeling the energy really in my body at night.
But
Uh,
how do you feel that energy in your body? What kind of sensations do you
it
get?
yeah, it feels like it's some sort of flow, and like I said, sometimes when I wake up and I have my curtains often open, and then it feels like really it's beaming at me. I can It's hard to explain, but like a sort of, if I feel really warm in a sense, and like some flow is going through my body. But it's always when it's at the highest point, like the days before, 2 days before, 2 days after, it's more some restlessness, I would say. Yeah. uh yeah, unique. I have to say, I'm not that I don't have that much of a special story. I would say sometimes very intense dreams, but that's also not so unique. um I think I would share then a story of when I was a kid, that I always, according to my mother, I can't remember, stood every full moon in front of the window and just kept saying in Dutch, "mooi," which is beautiful. And then I just wanted to go outside and stare at it all night. So at some point, my mom also called me Luna girl because I was so obsessed with the moon.
Oh,
So I think that's interesting that there was always this connection. Yeah, like some people have more with the sun, I guess, but for me it was, yeah, I could be in awe as a kid already. So, and I still have that when I look at it. So that's the story.
oh,
But
Luna Chile.
yeah, Luna Tilly, nice. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, actually, kids are the most sensitive to those cycles, and now
Mm.
I got the idea that if, especially those adults who have children already, if they pay more attention to the behavior of a child, they could learn a lot about what kind of topic
Mm.
is happening. And actually, children are mirroring usually parents. So the way a child behaves is a direct message what is happening with a parent energetically.
Ah, cool. That's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then now I'm
Oh,
very curious for your unique experience and
uh-huh.
commentary.
I told you that I will not share with you before the podcast. I want to
Yes.
stay for.
Now I cannot wait anymore. Like,
Yeah. I had the most hilarious experience ever that I will never forget, and I want to repeat it all day. I was feeling so high, like on some drugs after smoking weed. Literally, I couldn't stop laughing. There was
okay.
no reason, but I was imagine I was cooking, I'm laughing. I was shitting, I was laughing. I even went yeah, I went outside of apartment to be a human, to be among people.
To
And
be
imagine
yeah.
imagine I
But wait, just sorry for interrupt you, but you smoked weed, or it was as if you smoked weed?
as if
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah.
it was out
Cool.
of nowhere. For example, the memory comes and I'm laughing like no tomorrow, but it's not the funny memory. Why am I laughing? Like so I went outside and imagine as if you are a stranger watching me. So that you would look like the girl is going and she out of nowhere starts laughing by voice. First smiles and then she can't hold, she just needs to let it out and she in the middle of the street among people, she just laughs. And people
Wow.
are going, passing by, and they are smiling. When I was smiling, everybody around me were smiling. When I started laughing, some people started laughing.
Wow. Okay, that's so cool. It's like a
Yes.
collective laughter attack.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And there was no reason for me to feel that way. I mean, a full moon was a reason. So yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted it back.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds indeed like a very fun and positive experience. Yeah.
Yeah. And the pattern, actually, I already we talked about the pattern. Usually for me, it's uh, emotional revision of what is happening within me internally.
Mm.
So it's my solitude time. I like to be with myself. Plus, every full moon, sometimes I switch to new moon, but usually during full moon, I pull uh, oracle cards for myself to see what the guidance is and how it uh, validates my intuition, what I already felt. So today, by the way, after our episode, I also will pull a message for the collective. uh, yeah, so that's the full moon pattern and very unique experience of those cycles. Now,
Yeah, really cool experience. Yeah, actually, you
yeah,
can. I mean, it's more difficult if it doesn't come too natural. But like laughter meditations, you can start just forcefully laughing, and at some point, you will. It will be real. At least I experienced. But to do that on the street, I mean, I would be super afraid, but it would be also very funny. Um, to bring some positivity.
imagine, Tilly, when you start laughing and you see other people get affected by your laugh, then they multiply your laugh
Yeah, it's
tenfold, a
contagious.
hundredfold. Yeah,
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I think they did also sometimes experiments with this, like in the metro and then or tram, and just some person starts laughing and how it affects the others. It's actually really fun.
Tilly, Tilly, come here to Zagreb and let's do it, but come during the full moon.
Okay, okay. I'm scared and at the same time very up for it. Yes, let's
And
put the fears aside. And
yes, and have fun. And I met one lady who is practicing, who is literally doing it for living. So we can
what? She's
collaborate.
starting laughters for a living?
She's doing laughter sessions.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's really cool. That must be a
Laughter,
very fun job.
yeah,
Yeah.
laughter yoga, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. That's very cool.
Okay, so we are almost at the end, but let's see what is the meaning of the last full moon, what we know. Actually, I didn't study much, even though I am into astrology. But I know that last full moon that we had recently was in Virgo sign, based on Western astrology, tropical. And Virgo is all about the routine, about health, about uh, hidden enemies and frenemies and business. So people were, at least the topic that I recognized among people that I interacted with, that I heard the stories from, was all about that they were overworking, that they had a huge load of job to do, myself included, and it affected their health in one way or another. So it was like a call to pay attention to those aspects of life, and depends on every person's chart, because for somebody it's directly, like for me, Aries sign, it was directly about the routine, structure, health, like just take care of that. For others, this energy manifests in different houses. For example, it can be routine in the house of creativity. So it was a call for those people to put more attention and intention to some creative projects and take those seriously. So, yeah, the topic is all about the structure, Virgo, routine vibe. What did you
Mm.
notice?
I can definitely resonate with the latter. Like to focus on my creative projects and stepping more into my power related to that, but being more confident about it. Um, yeah, so that's interesting. But uh, the one before related to work or structure or burnout, or no, not so much stressful
But,
feelings.
but
No.
you were hyperactive, as I remember, right?
Yeah, but in a very like that I feel actually very good about. It's a sort of restlessness in a positive way. Like not overwhelmed, but just like very energetic all over the place, but in a good way. That's how I
But
usually experience the hyperactiveness.
okay, but did you manage to go to sleep on time or you overworked?
No, this full moon I could sleep. Normally I do have problems with sleeping. So I don't know how that then maybe because I don't have any Virgo in my astrology chart. I don't know how it works, but yeah, for now it was okay.
Uh-huh. Um, Wait a second, I'm almost done. Mm.
With
You know what? I would love to hear from you before because I was very curious to see in which house the full moon happened for you because I know a little bit about your chart. So I will. Do you want me to tell? Of course.
but you know my birth
N-
date
I
time.
I just need to know what your ascendant sign is, and
Oh,
you told me, and that's enough for me.
okay. I didn't know it worked like that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I will tell you in the meantime, but for now, I would like to hear from you. Um, what that are you doing some kind of rituals of a full moon? Not only full moon, maybe also new moon.
Yeah. Uh well, not as much as I want, not every full moon, but I always try to put like intentions in a book and things I want to focus on for the month, and then I ask the universe also to let go of the old and um yeah, make a little ritual out of it myself with like cacao or well tea. I don't know. It's just very small or with some yoga, but I'm not doing it every month. But it helps to yeah. Intentions are always powerful, so that I like to do. Yeah.
Okay.
I also heard
So,
from I never did it, but that you can put your gemstones in the moonlight that they are charging energy. I also never did it, but I should. But maybe some yeah people can try. And
okay.
oh yeah,
Tell me.
no, I just felt like sharing maybe a prayer that can be useful for people to let go of energies that are not theirs. But then I feel it's a bit off topic because it was actually before we discussed it already. Could also save it for another time. Um,
But
but
I mentioned that when we are going to speak about rituals, that we will share some tools, what could be done to uh, for
to let go
energetic
of the
hygiene.
old, yeah, that's okay. That's nice. Actually, then I quickly get the card because it's right here,
Okay.
and it's really short. But I always ask sometimes also after work when I come home. Angels, guides, ancestors, star family, please clear my energy field of any thoughts, forms, beliefs, feelings, and self doubt that does not belong to me or that's not mine and that's not serving me. And please transmute these energies into love and send them back to source. And I'm ready to allow and let go. And then it's always, yeah, powerful to clean everything out of your aura that's not yours. I don't know if it works like that, but it
Uh,
feels that way.
but do you feel the change after you do that?
Yeah, for sure. Yes, it's also a moment to take the time to intentionally say, okay, help me to let go of this. And sometimes I feel a bit restless or some energy that I feel is not my emotion, and then it definitely helps to say it.
Uh,
Hmm.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful. Beautiful. So yeah, rituals. Sometimes I do recharge and cleanse my crystals.
Cool.
First, I leave it under the water. I just leave open the pipe and I allow it to wash it. And then I put it in the small jar full of water. I put those stones inside and I leave on the moonlight to charge during the night. So, also, this I
Nice.
like to practice. Also, actually, now I don't do those rituals that much. I am more focused now on setting the intention that I believe is also as powerful as all of those other rituals.
And setting one intention for the whole month where you would like to focus on, or also several, like joy, um, creativity, or is it one big goal you work towards?
It depends on every full moon.
Mm.
But usually it's something that I am working through at that time. Like if I'm working through dealing with my fears, then I set intention that okay, I want to finish this during this
Mm,
full
yeah,
moon so I can move on with ease.
cool.
Now, so I told you I will tell you the house that the full moon of Virgo happened for you, and it's not as I thought. House number 5, what's looked like from your explanation. It was in house number 3, which is all about communication, technologies. What a surprise, right? Because you were so into it, into posting, into updating our Facebook page.
True. Okay, true. Yeah.
So all type of communication in person by technologies. It's writing also. Probably you wrote some songs or no,
Hmm.
or maybe
Uh,
published some songs also
well,
because
that
it's a form.
I did some with Instagram and publishing myself somewhere or a video, yeah, but not writing, but for sure for our channel as well. I felt the desire to put us out there. Yeah, that's nice.
Exactly, and that's the
Yeah.
house of 3 in Gemini
Hmm.
because Gemini is all about communication and the voice.
Okay. Cool. Again, interesting how it's also connected.
Yeah, and by
No.
the way, I want to let people know who are watching that if somebody is interested about some information that they can get from astrology, I am doing it. I'm studying from 2018. Not at the pro level, but for basics that could really bring much clarity. Come. So, do you
Great.
have some questions?
No, I think
We covered
I mean
everything,
it's yeah,
so
it was very complete. It was a good flow, and that's
you
it.
know what? I would ask you what I like to ask after uh, every session that I have with people or podcast that I'm doing, my podcast. That what is your biggest takeaway? Did you have any aha moments during this conversation?
Um, that's a good question. Normally, I always have one big one. For this one, I felt not per se, but it was still yeah. You always gain new insights, but the biggest aha moment. No, I cannot
And what
come
about
up
the
with it.
hospitals being full?
Yeah, okay, okay, that was for sure interesting. Yeah, there. I think, of course, I learned a lot of new things always. Also, the last thing you said about astrology, that's for me interesting as well to hear how it's connected with my behavior. Um, so yeah,
Okay. Okay, so
you,
we
yeah,
tell me.
yeah, you yourself had one. I mean, I felt like you know a lot about this already, also. so maybe it's less surprising aha moments.
Mm, Yeah, this time I didn't have much aha moment. Maybe it surprised me that my intuition was incorrect about your
Oh,
placement. I was like,
yeah.
I'm so sure that it's the house number 5, but no, it was the
Hmm.
house number 3. So yeah.
But you're still
Okay.
to pull a card, right?
Yes, thank you that you
Okay.
reminded me. So the last thing that was is in our plan is to pull a card, and I hope you can see me that whatever the collective needs to know, the general topic, please give us some messages and let it pop out. Oh, we have a flipper. Oh, even two flippers.
Oh, like
Yeah.
a dolphin? What do you mean with a
No,
flipper?
flipper that's
Oh, a
when I
card
was
that flipped
shuffling,
out.
it flipped. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, makes sense. I don't know how I came up with dolphin.
Oh, Tilly, you will love it. Ah!
Okay.
First, it's Mystic Healer.
Yeah.
And what it says
Oh,
below?
healing energy flows through you. Wow, super cool. That resonates.
Mystic Healer. Beautiful. And another
Mm.
card, Rainbow Blessings. Blessings are showering your life.
Wow. But this is for the collective also, right? It doesn't mean
The intention was for the collective,
yeah.
but probably there are groups of the collective, like
Hmm.
smaller, bigger groups.
Beautiful.
And I noticed
I
that
like them
when
both.
it, yeah, and I noticed that when it comes to the cards, that it's always represents, speaks about the energy that the one who shuffles carries and the one who is in close proximity with the one
Mm.
who pulls the cards. Like now we are in the same space, so it reflects our energy. So
Cool.
that collective who resonates with us, this is also a message for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. That's super cool.
And and for those who maybe feel like, okay, it's not a message for me, now another message comes to me that, hey, the rainbow blessings will start showering your life if you make a decision to work
Mm.
with a mystical healer. Because blessings come when we heal. And
Yeah.
I so much feel that, and you also told me, right, Tilly, before we
Mm.
started today, that you started feeling abundant during this
Yes.
full moon.
Yeah, for sure. A lot. Yeah. Very
Because you
high
were
on life.
because you worked on your mind, you worked on your
Mm.
emotions, on your psychology, and that is
Yeah.
a byproduct of that.
Well, cool ending.
Beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful ending. So let's thank to everybody who is watching, who was watching, who will be watching, and to our ancestors and spirit team for being today with us. So we are saying bye. I say bye. Till bye.
Bye.
See
And
you.
see you